So my recent video that I made talking about shares, Nigerian shares, should you buy, should you not buy? That video had friends asking me questions, and then the questions they asked me led me into explaining things, that were outside of the things that I spoke about in that video. So those things that are outside of the things I talked about in that video, those are the things that I want to explain now. And one of such thing is that there are two ways you can actually get shares. You can actually buy shares. One is either you buy it when directly from the company that is issuing the shares. So sometimes, you have public offer. Public offer simply means the company, bank, Coca-Cola, whatever, any brand at all is inviting the public. They are inviting the public to actually subscribe to their shares. So it's simply telling individuals, okay, come and buy your shares directly from us. Of course, they would have gone through a clearinghouse and all of these things. And that's one way you can get the shares. And by the time they are issuing those shares, they will sell it to you at a specific price. And now that's why if you look at this current shares that have been going on in Nigeria here, virtually all the banks are now racing to raise funds because of the new capitalization target that has been issued to them. So the thing is, with all this, they are all selling these shares at a fixed price. Fidelity Bank has a fixed price, Zenith, whatever. Any bank that's currently issuing shares right now, they have a fixed price for these shares. And if you look at the exchange, since they started selling the shares, the price of these shares have not moved. Now, that's really strange. It's not strange anyway, but of course, that's not really what I'm here to explain. So the price of these shares have not moved on the stock exchange. GT Bank, every single bank, every single person is sitting pretty on the same spot where they have been all this while. They are sitting on the same spot. So if we just take a look at that, we just look at GT Bank. Okay, GT Bank, okay, finally, it has moved. Finally, it has moved, right? So throughout that period, it was sitting at 44 naira 50 cents. And right now, it just moved to 45 naira. I think this is 45 naira 55 kobo. Sorry, 44 naira 50 kobo, not cents. All right. So that is actually one of those things. So you can either buy directly from them, or better still, you go to a broker and you actually buy from a broker. Now, how do you buy from a broker? A broker generates liquidity by, of course, whenever you want to buy, it means probably somebody wants to sell their shares. Maybe someone who bought it at 44 naira, the thing has dropped down to 30 naira, and they're afraid that the thing might go down to 10 naira, or they're afraid that the whole thing might just completely go to the downside, and then they will lose all their money. They will just say, okay, you know what? They'll head over to a broker and say, okay, I bought X, Y, and Z shares from so and so time. I bought it at 40 naira. Now the thing has traded down to 25 naira. I want to sell it. So that person now has an order on the broker to actually sell their liquidity. Of course, if there's any single person that is willing to buy the shares at that time, the broker simply matches these two orders, and then the other guy buys the shares at 25 naira, and then the other guy sells the shares at 25 naira. So the guy that is on the broker takes a commission in between. So you can either buy your shares directly from the company when it's issuing the shares, or you buy it from a broker at a lower price. And of course, this is actually one of those things that people don't really know about. I remember those days my mom would, be waiting to say, oh, is this bank selling their shares now? Or are these people selling their shares now? Not knowing that you could actually head over to a broker at any given point in time and actually buy the shares, or, from any single person that is willing to actually sell their shares at that time. So that's exactly how this system works. That's how it works. So there's always a broker in between the buyer and the seller. The broker brings them together. And, these days, it's all electronically done, but I'm sure you can still do it physically in Nigeria. That's basically what we as forex traders do. There's a broker in between. When you want to buy, someone wants to sell. When you want to sell, someone wants to buy. And then, of course, the guy who sold to you at 25 naira when you bought at 40 naira has just made a loss of 15 naira. So he has lost 15 naira per share. So if you had maybe 1,000 units, you just multiply that 15 naira by 1,000 and you have 15,000 naira. He has lost 15,000 naira. And then you're just buying for the first time. And then maybe after you buy, you're lucky, it moves up to 45 naira. And the guy who sort of sold his own now says that, this thing that he sold, he has come back, or he's now back again to buy again. And he comes and he buys it at 45 naira. You've gone from 25 to 45. So you've basically earned 20 naira per share. So if you had 1,000 units, you've made you've gained 20 naira per share. So you've made a 20,000 naira profit on that move. Meanwhile, the other guy, he buys at 45 and he keeps going to up to 80. That's his luck. He has made more money. And of course, you could have made more money if you had just held on to it. So that's just how this whole thing works. All right. So, I mean, if you have any questions regarding this topic, you have any suggestions, any video you might like to see, content you might like to see, please leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to actually, make such content for you. So, of course, I hope you found this video insightful and, of course, interesting. If you have any comment, please leave them here. If you have any video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to make that. And don't forget, on the 24th of August, we have a live physical event coming up where I'm going to be talking about all of these things, the financial markets, different opportunities to actually earn income, exploiting different markets. I'm going to be talking about it in great depth on the 24th of August here in Lagos, Nigeria. So please make sure that you don't miss that event. It's going to be a fantastic one. And guess what? The event is absolutely free, courtesy of Tickmill. So make sure you're there.